For our final presentation, we look at generating trust and making consumer choices easy. Please welcome to this stage Beatrice Bolzani, who is Marketing and Communications Manager at V-Label. With a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi all, hi, thank you for being here. Let's say together how to generate trust and make consumer choices easily related to the vegan industry. So, yeah, let's say together. Starting from the survey. According to a survey conducted by fast-moving consumers good gurus in September of 2020, the 72% of global consumers are now making a healthier decision to purchase more healthier food and beverage products. And health and wellness have become a priority for global consumers all over the world who are seeking now for more alternative options in order to be in line with these new market trends. And the consumer's behavior has also increased the demand for vegetarian and vegan products all over the world. But why are consumers reducing meat consumption in order to looking for more plant-based options? In order to understand this, we need to go back to the 2020. So the first aspect to consider is COVID. COVID significantly impacted our consumers' behaviors in terms of diets. And in this specific moment, health and wellness have become two crucial factors, two key elements in order to prevent the spread of virus. And in this specific period, since more people were also leading a sedentary lifestyle, in order to prevent diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, the obesity, they were implementing their diets with more vegetable products and plant-based options. So, as a result, in the first half of 2020, the global demand for vegan product has increased very fast. So compared to the previous year, let's see together how the market was in 2020 and how is expected to grow in the next year following. So let's see together, the global vegan food market size was 23.31 billion in 2020, and now is projected to grow to 61.35 billion in 2028 at CAGR of 12.95 during the period between 2021 and 2028. So this data shows that the demand for vegan products is not a fad, but it's here to stay. And there are also two important other reasons that were leading the demand for vegetarian and vegan products, which are first, the global awareness and the concern of the animal welfare. And the second one, the environmental sustainability. So as consumers become more conscious about the ethical implication of their choices and the environmental impact of the animal welfare, they are seeking out for more plant-based options as a more sustainable and compassionate alternative. So let's go deeply now into the vegan market, and let's see together how it is different from a country to another one, because every market has its own tale on potential and growth. Here I can show you three different kinds of market, which are Emirates, Europe, and United States. Let's start from the first one, so the Emirates. The US meat substitute market grew from 11.3 million euros in 2019 to 14.4 million by the end of this year at CAGR of 20%. And the interesting things to aspect to consider here is that the demand for vegan products has increased very fast in the plant-based milk industry, approximately 50% of retail estimates. And the meat-free substitute has increased very fast. For example, in 2080s, there were just a few players, and now there are more 15 players, and most of them are imported brands, such as Impossible Food, Beyond Meat, just to mention some of them. And the interesting things to know here is also that the demand for vegetarian and vegan products has been increased also in restaurants. For example, Burger King and Subway has introduced in their menu some plant-based options in order to respond of the demand of these new target consumers. So the situation is also different in Europe, where the global market is worth 5.8 billion sales value of plant-based food in 2021. And there is a growth in sales of 21% in the period between 2020 and 2022. It's interesting to see that even if the market is now big, it continues, it keeps on growing. The interesting things to know here is that the plant-based milk category is the biggest one, but there is also another category which is the fast-growing one, and this is the plant-based seafood. And the plant-based seafood in Europe is on fire. So it's growing from over 300% in the period between 2020 and 2022. So very, very big, huge increase. Another market to consider is the US market, and the US retail market for plant-based food is worth 7.5 billion euros sales value. The interesting things to know here is that Americans claimed, according to Statista data, to be more than 15 million conducting a veggie lifestyle, and 2 million of them saying that they are purely vegan. So, as a demonstration of fact, the demand of vegetarian and vegan product is growing. And it's interesting to see that the most sensitive target of the plant-based industry is millennials and young generation. Young generation is in fact more interested in animal welfare, and they are more conscious about their ethical implication of their choices. So let's see now, as we can see, since the demand for vegetarian and vegan product is growing, the natural question is now, how is important to identify products with reliable labels? So let's see together. Or claims, there are many claims that are saying that the product is vegan or vegetarian, but not only are the same, and according to the method of verification. Another important aspect to consider when we choose a trademark, a reliable trademark for our vegetarian and vegan products, is to focus on methods of verification. In fact, there is a big difference between self-declaration methods or a certification. Because in the self-declaration methods, producer or third-party authorities assumes the responsibility, claiming that its product is vegan or vegetarian according to requirements established by the law. But here are no checks, no protocol, no inspections, no audits. Just the producer assumes the responsibility for claiming that the product meets the requirements established by the law. So at V-Label, we do not accept self-declaration because every single ingredient must be accurately checked in order to be sure this product meets the vegetarian and vegan requirements. And also the history is another important aspect to consider when we have to choose a reliable trademark for our vegan and vegetarian products. The V-label is one of the ancient ones because it was created in the early 1976 as the institutional symbol of the Italian Vegetarian Association. And it was used in 3 European congresses, and in the early 90s became the most recognized trademark all over the world. In fact, the label trademark has been registered into 80 countries. So this is very important to see and to understand because despite its widespread use, we continue to maintain the same criteria and regulation all over the world. And our guidelines were also established by the major European Vegetarian and Association. That's why it's another point of ethical and safety warranty to promote vegan products. So, and while inspections are important to verify if the product meets the vegetarian requirement established by the V-label, another important aspect to consider is that our presence in more 80 countries ensure to the producer to be globally recognized, and we know also we have the know-how to expertise in order to suggest what is suitable for a market, and also we can work properly according to time zones and in order to also break the language barriers because we are present all over the world with our representatives. So what began in early 70s as the institutional symbol of the Italian Vegetarian Association is one of the biggest recognized trademark all over the world for the safety and transparency of all checks. Another important aspect that I would like to share with you is the connection between the online retailing and the vegan products. So, according to Nielsen reports, Google search for vegan food near me is on fire and surged by 5,000% in 2021. So, very big. And brands that are flagging their products as vegetarian and vegan with a reliable trademark, it has been demonstrating they have an increase in sales value. That's because when shoppers are looking for vegan products online, it is completely different from the traditional way of purchasing in a superstore, in a supermarket. So that's why it's important to flag product properly with reliable trademarks when you want to approach this market. And there is another important correlation between the online retailer and vegan trends, since according to plant-based news, it's young generation shoppers who are driving the vegan revolution, and most of them prefer to shop online. So who is more sensitive to the vegan thematic is people who are also buying online. So not only in the online retailer, but also in chains distributors, is important to flag properly vegetarian and vegan products. So that's why V-label has been supporting dozens of distribution chains and retailers identifying their vegetarian and vegan products suitable for this kind of way of living. So, for example, we have been chosen by these retailers. We are Carrefour partners in France, Lidl globally, Aldi, Despar, and they choose V-label because it is present all over the world, so consumers rely on the label, and also because it is a warranty of safe and transparency. Also, in the restaurants, our presence is very strong. For example, also Burger King has introduced a veggie menu in their options and choose the V-label to identify them. Nowadays, the V-label has been registered in 80 countries with more 50,000 products and over 5,000 companies have chosen us. So what's important to see is that the demand of vegetarian and vegan product is growing. And if you want to make a boost of your vegan products, you have to choose the quality, the transparency, and the safety of a vegan certification. So thank you very much, and if you have any questions, we are on the booth.